Good morning. Today we're going to make some pour over coffee with a Chemex and black rifle coffee. So when we make this coffee today, we're going to use a scale to weigh out the coffee and the water. You don't have to do this, but it makes it a lot easier to track and more consistent. You can have a more repeatable process. If you're somewhere where you don't have a scale, you can wing it and still get a pretty good cup of coffee. Just we'll keep it more consistent. So first thing we'll do, we'll turn on the scale. I've already got my water heated, and tare the scale for the weight of everything. And we will pre-wet this filter. This will also help warm the Chemex. It'll help keep the temperature so the coffee's not then transferring the heat to it. One thing about glass is it doesn't transmit taste, so you have a little cleaner flavor. So we'll get rid of this water. And I'll actually tare the scale again because we've added water weight into the filter. Alright, today we're going to be using the same caffeinated AF as last time. I still got a lot of it ground. We're going to do a 16:1 ratio. So I'm going to use about 60 grams of coffee because I'm making enough for two here. And since we have it weighed out, or the scale tared out in here, we can just weigh it on right here and inside. We don't have to pre-weigh it or anything else. And I think if you're over a little bit, you're not gonna hurt anything. And a quick note, when you do this, it has a pour spout here, so you want to put the 3 filters or pieces doubled up here so it doesn't filter out there and run down. That helps the air vent, and you can pour it later. So we got 61 grams of coffee, and I'm going to try to get 120 grams of water in it. We're going to see how it fits. I don't want to go real high on the filter with the water. So we'll tare the scale. And then the water's at about 195 right now. You have to pour real slow and gentle, especially with a non-gooseneck. As you get a little bit harder hit and can separate the coffee. Right now the coffee's blooming and still drained down, so it's absorbing some and releasing CO2. Some people really time this out to every pour. Should be, say, 50 seconds, 30 seconds, or a minute. I'm not worried with that right now. Now, I was going to double this and try to go to 240, but I don't think I can get 240 in here without being over the top. So we're just going to do the same amount and get to 240 and see how that looks. Nope. About 254, we're right at the level of the coffee. I don't want to get too far up on the filter because then we have the chance of the skirting down the filter and bypassing the coffee in general. So that is processed through. I'm going to go to the next. So right now, instead of just worrying about what the weight is I'm putting in, because I know I'm going to use about 960 grams of water, I'm just now trying to keep it from going over the side of the Chemex and being too high up on the filter itself. And we can be in this about 4 minutes, I think. We have 421 grams of water in it right now. Hopefully the audio is a little better on this video. I'm not using my phone. I've got the 77D out. I checked it with the lights. It doesn't seem to be having any problems. I do have some ambient noise running around here, but nothing I can get rid of. So the shotgun mic in this should be pretty good. Hopefully you can hear me clear enough. I was trying a lapel microphone, and it sounded terrible, so I opted not to use that for the full video. And I'll have the links to the filters and this Chemex below, so you can go to Amazon and see the same thing. This is a 6-cup Chemex. They have a 3, 6, and 8. They also have a whole bunch of other different hand-blown glassware. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's pretty cool. This is the only one I've got. They even have a automatic drip type system where you put this kind of container under it, you load it up, and it drips the coffee in it just like you would a drip coffee pot. But it's really expensive. I think it's about $400. As that goes, I haven't talked much about the coffee, but the caffeinated AF is double the caffeine of most coffees. So as it says here on the bag, tasty notes, hold on to your socks. This is a solid flavor blessed by the caffeine gods to have twice the amount of caffeine as a normal cup. And it says the best method for this is drip or a pour over. Black Rifle Coffee does that on most of their stuff. They have a scale. It is 6, and it's right there at medium. So it's pretty good. I think this only comes ground. At least when I bought it last time, that's all I had. So I'm not sure about that right now. I'll give you another idea. They have the Murdered Out, which you get into some of this. So it's 100% Colombian coffee, roasted ultra dark for an intense flavor, and it's the darkest roast. And it's pretty good. Most of them are all pretty good. This is bean. And you got a whole bunch of different varieties here. This bag's open to Beyond Black, and it's a dark roast. So it's a Colombian coffee roasted to a bold yet pleasant chocolate smokiness. And it's pretty good. I like it. Wife likes that one. Warm these up. Drop my shaker to the protein bottle. And well, that's actually a little more coffee or water than I wanted in there. So we'll let that finish. Warm up those. And I'm sure you hear Bailey down here walking in front of the camera, shaking her little collar. So this can be a little time consuming, but it's really worth it. Now, if I was only making one, it would have already been done now. But weekend, so making enough for a couple people. At this point, I'm just going to take it off the scale because I notice this does get a little warm, and it's just a regular food scale that I bought off Amazon. They make other ones specifically for it. I think some of them have timers in it, things like that. I have not spent the money for all those because I use this for just weighing out other things with it. smaller camping gear for my other things. And sometimes when I was doing some meal prep, it does, serving size in ounces versus, slices, so I was using it for that. Yep, still going a little bit. Share the caffeine and hate. That'd be from the Ranger Up guys. Alright, we're pretty much done here, so I'll just discard this whole filter. Now you're ready to drink some coffee. And I have some leftover. Yeah, have to work on the ratios of that because one 30-gram set was not enough coffee for 2 regular mugs for 2 people. So it's going to be probably enough for 3 at 60 grams of coffee and 960 grams of water. Actually at 980 in this one, so I'm not sure how much difference that will be. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something from it. I know I'm not super scientific with anything, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. Comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you like to see. I know my channel's a little bit scatterbrained and a little bit of everything, and I think that's just what it's going to be, whatever I'm interested in at the time, whether it's, coffee's been a thing, but now I figure I'd share some of that. My hiking's when I can get out. You'll see some more photography stuff when we have time. I'm working on a project with that. I'm hoping to wrap up this fall, at least part of it, and get an initial video out for the first phase. And for anyone that actually cares about that, I'm using Kodak Ektar 100. I'm shooting it in two cameras, same time, same image, and I'm going to develop it in 2 different chemistries. That is film made for C41 chemistry, which is your standard color film developer of the day, and I'm going to run it in a ECN2, which is the current motion picture color film developer, and compare them because they're slightly different. They're about the same chemistry except for one chemical, CD3 and CD4. Different films show different saturation of colors, things like that. Just want to see what's better, see how the C41 film handles on it. If it looks good or better on ECN2, that's nice because ECN2 chemistry I can buy the chemicals and mix myself, and it is cheaper that way. And you can mix them in smaller or larger batches as necessary. I don't have to buy pre-mixed stuff. Once I complete that phase, I have 2 of the Kodak Vision ECN2 type films or motion picture films, a 50D and a 250D, that I'm going to do the same process with, just for comparisons to see how it turns out. There's other companies that currently sell that film to be developed in C41. Cinestill gets their film stock, strips the rim jet, and sells it as a C41 film then. And it looks a little different, so we'll see what it comes out to be. So if you're a coffee guy and made it this far, sorry for tracking you on that. Check out the links below. Yeah, have a good cup of coffee.